Hey YouTube, what is up? It is Slade here. Welcome to another one of my videos, and I'm just going to Bandits for a little bit just to train because, why not? In this video, I want to talk about RuneScape 3 as well as the future of RuneScape 07 and what I think should happen to RuneScape 07 because there's a lot of opinions out there and they're colliding with each other. Some people say they want to do it this way, some people say they want to do it that way. I'm going to say how I would do it if I was Jagex, but yeah, so first things first is let's talk about RS3. So RS3 was released a couple days ago, and there have been a lot of things going on with it. So first things first is when you log into RuneScape 3, there's a big-ass cutscene of Saradomin and Zamorak duking it out for a piece of cake or something. No, I'm just kidding. They're duking it out for whatever reason. I didn't really follow the storyline. I just watched the cutscene. And pretty much when you log in, you take a side, whether you want to be on Zamorak or Saradomin. When I saw the cutscene and right after it, it showed who was winning. And I don't think that's really fair. It shouldn't show like before the cutscene who was actually winning, but Saradomin was kicking the living shit out of Zamorak. And I don't even think I chose a team. I just teleported to Varrock, to be honest with you. But from what I heard, it wasn't really that exciting because the battlefield, all people really did was mine because fighting wasn't worth it. Like mining was better XP and also gave your god more points, so there was really no point into PvP whatsoever, which that's what pisses me off about RuneScape nowadays. It seems like they just completely ditched PvP in RuneScape EOC because it's either not fun or they just believe that all the PKers went to RuneScape 2007. They really got to fix something with the PvP system in EOC because people are just not interested in it, and it just seems like the EOC has just completely benefited the PVMers, which nothing against the I can't even talk. PVMers, I love you guys out there. PVMing is a lot of fun, but it's just kind of unfair when they just focus on one specific community and then just tell the other community, hey, fuck you, go to 07, which, yeah, right now, 07 PKing is a lot better than EOC PKing. I mean, there's no one in EOC PKing, but that's beyond the fact. Let's talk about RS3. So pretty much the PvP aspect of this new RuneScape 3 God versus God thing is pretty much a wash. People are just skilling, getting their God's points, and Saradomin's kicking Zamorak's ass. What else came out with RuneScape 3? Oh, new interfaces. There have been a lot of mixed reaction with the interfaces. My own personal opinion, I think they're actually pretty cool. But the problem is that they took away the original interface, and a lot of people like the original interface, but Jagex got caught up in this customization. You could do whatever you want with the interface. You could make a fucking penis with the interface. Who cares? It's customizable, yada yada. And they completely forgot to keep like the original RuneScape like this intact in EOC, which a lot of people liked. I mean, sure, they could like mess around with like the new interface, and PVMers maybe can mess around with the interface so they can PVM better, but it's something they just completely pushed on the players, and we all know how Jagex loves to push fucking updates on us even though we don't want them. They're just like, fuck it, fucking put it into the game and they don't care. So although it is cool that you could customize your interface a lot, it's just unfortunate they didn't keep like the original classic interface intact like this one, except in the EOC version. And I know there's an option to make it so like you have like a close similarity to the old interface, except it looks completely can't even talk, sorry. It looks completely clunky and it doesn't look like the original interface, and it is kind of like a little bit confusing because I was looking at it and this, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? This is a clusterfuck, you know? So yeah, that's another problem. Another problem with RuneScape 3 is that, all this time, Jagex has been talking about HTML5. I log into RuneScape 3 and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell? It's so foggy? I'm like looking around. I'm like, I can't see shit. And come to find out that HTML5 has been delayed for a couple of months. Now, I understand there have been a lot of problems with HTML5, such as glitches and FPS drops. And a situation like mine where I have a $1,000 PC right next to me and it can't even run the damn game at 25 FPS, which is kind of absurd since I can run Battlefield 3 at maximum graphics, maximum everything, and get 60 FPS. So there's kind of a little problem there if you can't figure out how to use other people's software to make your game run smoothly. So I understand that aspect as to why they delayed it a couple of months. I just don't like the fact that they advertised HTML5 with RuneScape 3, like, oh, this is going to make it so you can see long distances. And they had a long ass time to make sure that HTML5 worked on time and worked on RuneScape 3 launch. But for whatever reason, they couldn't make it work, which is a big disappointment, because in every behind the scenes video you saw with RuneScape 3, you just saw them saying HTML5, HTML5, HTML5 is the best thing ever. HTML5 is going to change the RuneScape community game forever. And when RuneScape 3 came out, you still saw fucking fog all around you, and you're just like, what the fuck is this shit? This looks like regular RuneScape to me. And they're just like, haha, sorry guys, we just kind of fucked up our HTML5 and we're delaying it a couple of months. So that was really disappointing, because I really expected for that huge battle that was going on, that you could see like the complete background, and then after the fact, when you actually spawn in Lumbridge again, to see which side you're on, that you'd look around at your environment and you could just see distances away. You could fucking see from Lumbridge, like Varrock, all the way down. You're just like, oh my god, that's fucking cool. But for whatever reason, they couldn't make it work, and that is a big letdown. And that is 100% Jagex's fault, because they had all this time to implement HTML5 and make sure it worked with everyone's computer, but for whatever reason, they could not. So that is a big fault of Jagex's. So overall, with all the things I have mentioned about HTML5 being delayed, about the interface of RuneScape 3, about the overall cutscene in general, I would have to give RuneScape 3 out of a 10 scale probably a 5 out of 10. And the reason why is because it's obvious that it wasn't prepared 100%, because if it was, then HTML5 would work. The interface, there would still be like an original RuneScape interface, but other options to customize whatever you wanted, which for the people who did PVM or whatever, you could actually customize the interface however you wanted. And for the casual player, they could always have the original classic RuneScape screen if they didn't want to customize it all. So that was a big blunder, I thought. But the biggest thing was HTML5. They kept pushing it on us, and they couldn't even bring that on time. And that was actually a pretty cool aspect of what I liked about RuneScape 3. I won't be playing RuneScape 3, if at all, because I still don't like the EOC. I still don't like the combat system, and I'm really a big person in the PvP. I love doing PvP, but until they fix the EOC and how it works, I just have no interest in that game. So I might stop by here and there on RuneScape 3 to see how it's going, but I won't play the game. And so yeah, next up, let's talk about RuneScape 07 and its future, because it's going to be really interesting. Let's do it. Alright, so let's talk about the good shit, the classic shit, RuneScape 2007 and the future of RuneScape 2007. So there has been a lot of discussion between Mac K, the actual person who does a lot of the updates in RuneScape 2007, and SoRek, the person who actually made the revolution to bring back RuneScape 2007. And wait, it's not a revolution. It was pretty much a movement, and he was the one that led that movement to bring back this version of the game, which mad props to him, because I really do enjoy the core of RuneScape, the classic RuneScape that I'm playing right now. And there's just been a lot of discussion as to what we should do with RuneScape 2007. Should we leave it as is and leave it as a genuine artifact? Should we progress the game all the way up to pre-EOC 2012 with the Dragon Claws, with the Inferno Asdi, with all this fucking shit that led all the way up to the day before EOC came out? Or should we add new content into RuneScape 2007, such as the Nightmare Zone, which is actually coming out? And that was content that is coming to this game that wasn't previously in the original RuneScape 2007 back in the day. And there's just been a lot of discussion about it, and it seems as though there's a small minority that think it should just stay like this, as is, no more updates whatsoever. This is a perfect game, which I disagree with that, because eventually you're going to get bored. There's not going to be any end game content, and just look at what they did with Party Hats. Party Hats back in 2007 was actually endgame content. People would hoard it, and also it took a lot of money in order to acquire a RuneScape Party Hat. So it would take a long time to acquire money to get that RuneScape Party Hat, and people would play continuously and continuously in order to get Party Hats and multiple Party Hats. But in this state of the game, that's not the case, because they're pretty much saying party hats are not going to be rare. They're just going to hand them out like free fucking candy to everyone. So pretty much what ModMattK quoted is that there will be around 700 GP by the time he hands out the fucking party hats like free candy. So that kind of sucks. That pretty much kills that part of the end game content, that you can't get money or can't like earn your money to acquire a party hat, which I disagree with, but I won't get into that because I already talked about that before. My personal opinion about it is that I think from the point, like this point, RuneScape 2007, all the way to pre-EOC 2012, we should bring back pretty much all the good updates that came out within that time period. So for instance, I liked God War's Dungeon because it brought a lot of good weapons to the game, a lot of good armors into the game, and it also, I don't know how to call it, but it just made it like, it was just really fun, and also brought end game content because you could boss at the 4 bosses, Armadillo, Zamorak, Ceradomin, and Bandos. You could go there, you could PK with your, or not PK, what am I talking about? You could boss with your friends and have a blast, and if you get a hilt drop, you're just like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever, you know? And yeah, they should just bring back those kind of updates, and we get to vote on that. And so, like, we could leave out, obviously, the wilderness removal and maybe Bounty Hunter, except a lot of people did like Bounty Hunter. So if they brought back Bounty Hunter into the middle but still had the wilderness, I think that would be really cool, because Bounty Hunter in itself was actually really fun in its own way and could be like a PK mini game. So if you want to take a break from just like regular wilderness PKing, you could actually go to Bounty Hunter. Like, I think that would be a really cool aspect. So that's what I'm talking about, just bringing back all the stuff that we liked from 2007 to 2012 and just bringing it back into this game. I think we could actually make a perfect game and actually surpass EOC in terms of players, in terms of playability of the game, in terms of how fun the game is. And also, I also believe, honestly, like, this is coming from the bottom of my heart, I think that well, that sounded kind of weird. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I honestly believe that we can make sort of some nerfs to some items. I know that kind of sounds bad, and I know like the completely old school people are going to be like, no, you can't do that. No, you're going to ruin the game. No, just hear me out. So we can make certain nerfs to items such as AGS, where a lot of people don't want God of War's Dungeon back due to the fact that the AGS, you could pretty much 1-bang or 2-bang someone. We can make it so like the AGS could be 1 spec, or maybe if you spec with the AGS, it takes away 60% of the spec bar, so you can't just prod it out. You can make changes like that in order to make certain bad things about certain updates good again. So that's what I genuinely believe, is that we should take all the good updates from 2007 to 2012 pre-EOC, and take good aspects out of each update and bring it back into this game, because if you just keep bringing good things into the game, it's going to get better and better. And then it could come to a point that we won't make it a perfect game, obviously, because people disagree on certain things, on what's good, what's bad. But we can make this game how RuneScape should have been all this time, instead of Jagex forcing stuff on us. Like, what was a bad update? Making climbing boots 75k randomly. What else was a bad update? I know there are a lot of them out there. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. There are a lot of bad ones. There's so many bad ones that for some reason I just can't think off the top of my head which ones are bad. But yeah, I think that would be really awesome if we could do that. So bringing back all the good shit, and then if there was something bad within the good update, then we could just like nerf it or something to make it good. So that's what I believe. Leave in the comment section below on what you guys think RuneScape 2007 should go, what direction it should go. Should it just stay as a genuine artifact as it is right now? Should we add brand new content that was never in RuneScape 2007 before? Or should we bring back all the old updates that were good previously from RuneScape 2007 all the way to pre-EOC 2012 and add certain nerfs to bad things within those good updates? I know that sounds confusing, but trust me, it makes sense to make it good again. So yeah, leave in the comment section down below on what you want to happen. You also can just have a combo of all three, maybe, well, actually, if you just want it genuine, then you don't want any changes whatsoever, but maybe you want a combo of the second and third option, and you think that would be the best way to progress RuneScape 2007. So that's it. This has been Slayed. If you like this video, please comment, rate, subscribe, and click the subscribe button down below to join the Slayed Brigade. And yeah, so I'll continue training strength on RuneScape 2007. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.